time to win or go home. State playoffs are underway. Lakeland facing Lewiston. This is the third time these teams have played in the last 7 days after a tiebreaker on Monday. Lakeland's up 2 scores. Second quarter, Lewiston QB Mason Way trying to make a big play, picked off by Siler Bauer, and a nice return for the Hawks as well. That sets them up in the red zone, and that sets up Peyton Hillman. A pitch to Griffin Tamani. Cutback, picks up some speed, end zone. Touchdown makes it 21-0 Hawks. But the Bengals, they will make a comeback. Next drive, Mason Way goes deep, drops it in the bucket to Austin Top. He's going to do the rest. 70-yard score. The Bengals, they're not out of it. We go just before halftime. 4th and goal. The Bengals going to tote the rock with Sawyer Casey. He drives his way in for a touchdown. Had ourselves a game. This one turns out to be a thriller. Lewiston comes back and forces overtime, but Lakeland hangs on for the win 28-27. A shame someone's season has to end after a game like that, but the Hawks are moving on to the quarterfinals.
Wow, what a game. All right, 8-man action, 2A bracket. Logos hosting Oakley.
Look at that sword.
In Moscow in a first-round matchup. Knights QB Joseph Sensing drops back, lofts one, picked off, though, by Jackson Rice. One-handed grab, Hornets ball, but they are forced to punt. Sensing wants a little redemption. QB keeper puts your head down, gets into the end zone. 2-pointer makes it 8-0 Knights. Hornets trying to answer. Another one-handed pick, but this one to Gideon Haney, and he has a big return to go with it. Sets up the Knights in great field position, and they go back to Haney. And you have to see this stiff arm. Grady told me it was like watching somebody play in the backyard with their little brother. There's the catch.
He says,
you'll see the stiff arm.
Get
there
off
it is.
Me.
Touchdown Logos. They are moving on. A 62-12 win over Oakley in round 1.
Over to Wallace, the Miners kicking off the 1A bracket, hosting Salmon River. Visiting Savages would strike first, but Wallace, they weren't phased. Quarterback Cooper Miller follows his blocks, breaks a tackle. He's off to the races, 50-plus yards to even up the score. Look at those jerseys. They're muddy. There's nothing better. Wallace defense gets a turnover. The Miners, now they look to the air. Miller's pass going to be caught by Henry Larson. Beats a defender down the sideline. The Miners take a 16-8 lead to the second quarter. Back-to-back Salmon River drives end in a turnover. Lennox Radford, look at the camera work on this one. Ball stripped out. Larson falls on it for the Miners. The turnovers are crucial as Wallace holds on to win it by 6 points. The Miners advancing to the 1A quarterfinals. Also had 3 Idaho teams on byes tonight. Coeur d'Alene in the 6A bracket, Priest River in the 3A, and Kendrick in the 2A.
But we did have more games happening tonight around the Gem States. Sandpoint was on the road taking on Minico in the 5A first round. The Bulldogs pull out a 4-point win and are on to the quarterfinals. In 4A, Bonner's Ferry traveled to American Falls. Unfortunately, the Badger season will end there. Final score 28-21 American Falls.
Back to 8-man, Kamiai hosted Glens Ferry in the 2A first round and made a statement 86-22. The Cubs are quarterfinal bound. Elsewhere in the same bracket, Prairie was hosting Valley in Cottonwood. They get a 6-point win to move on to the quarterfinals as well.
One last game out of that 2A bracket, Potlatch visiting Hagerman. Heartbreak for the Loggers in a loss that will cap their season. And last but not least, in the 1A classification, Genesee picks up a big win at home to move on to the quarters, 66-26 over Timberline. It is the final week of the regular season high school football season in Washington.
That's sad news. Good news, though, had a pair of huge games at One Spokane Stadium tonight that would determine the teams heading to state tournament in the 2A GSL. First up, it's North Central hosting Clarkston. If the Wolfpack win, it forces a 3-way tiebreaker on Monday to determine the final 2A seed. Bantams come out on a mission. Kendrick Gimlin, beautiful paced ball to Dre Torpy. Clarkston up 7-0. Bantams on offense again. Gimlin to Alex Schaefer. This time a huge gain and an impressive catch. Looking for that second touchdown. But Camden Ramcourt, he's got another idea. Sitting back in coverage, then ball's lofted up. He picks it off, and a nice little return. The Bantams would get that second touchdown, though. Clarkston gets their first win of the season, 21-7. That also meant the potential 3-way tiebreaker is off the table.
But it does mean that this Deer Park Rogers game is a winner to the playoffs, loser out game. And a little defense will get us started. Deer Park looking to set up the short screen pass. David Moore there for Rogers with the big hit and the stop. Here in the second quarter, Deer Park showing off the defense. Pirates take a shot to the end zone, but look at this effort of Kyle Nacarado to break up what would have been a touchdown. Great play by him. Rogers answers, though, just a couple of plays later. Handoff, Brandon Sanchez, a little move at the line. He's got reservations for 6. Touchdown Pirates. They are the first on the board. After they would get the ball back, it's back to the ground. This time, Malachi Fletcher, the second in on the short touchdown run. Those 2 scores would be crucial as Rogers wins it 14-7. They grab a 2A seed alongside Pullman, East Valley, and West Valley.
Now, Mead, they know they're in the second seed in the 4A state in the 4A division of the GSL, trying to head to the playoffs with a win against Shadle Park. Panthers quarterback Landon Thomas to Lee Colombe. The footwork, whoop, up the left sideline and into the end zone, puts Mead up early. Another drive. This time they're going to hand off to Luke Marchessault. He finds the end zone, and he finds the camera on this one. Unfortunately, though, the touchdown, we love it. Touchdown gets called back. Appreciate the love for the local media. Tal Catlin making it difficult for the Panthers. They'd make a field goal, making it 10-0. Second quarter, Evan Drew hands the ball off to Max Fagau. He goes left, hits some traffic, cuts right. He's got speed, leaves defenders in the dust, sidesteps the sideline, goes airborne at the goal line.
Are you kidding me? What a run.
For 6. Mead heads to the playoffs with the momentum from that touchdown run, 52-6. They pick up the win.
All right, Colfax looking to cap an unbeaten regular season on the road at Liberty, and the band showing the Halloween spirit. Colfax leading 6-0, but Liberty digging their heels in. Big tackle for loss, part of a goal line stand that would give the ball back to the Lancers. But disaster on the very next play. Low snap, loose ball in the end zone. Braxton Gransberry falls on it for the Bulldogs. That is a touchdown, 12-0 Colfax. Second quarter, Lancers back at it. Quarterback Donald Holwegner uncorks a pass to the end zone where Parker Myers is there for the touchdown grab. Back to a one-possession game, but Colfax would strike right back. Quarterback Riker Reed splits the Red Sea of defenders, and he's loose. No one will catch him as he scores to put his team up 20-6. Bulldogs pull away from there. Colfax wins it 41-16 and improve to 7-0 on the season.
How many matchups can bring together not only 2 teams, but 6 towns together? The magic of 8-man football.
Yeah, it also helps when those 2 teams are a combined 12-3 on the year. Wilbur Creston Keller hosting Elmira Cooley Heartline. This was a big one. Warriors would get the ball after a successful onside kick. Nolan Grindy doing this on the 3rd play, running all the way through the defense for a 15-yard score. ACH up 8. Nothing going for the Wildcats. Back to the Warriors. This time reverse to Brady Roberts. He'll take it around the end. Lots of green in front of him. He'll walk in from 20 yards out, extending that lead to now 16. We go for 2 around here. Still in the first quarter, Warriors looking to add to their lead again. Grindy takes the snap and takes off. Hurdles up over a defender. He'll not get caught either. 50 yards. Watch him run, folks. To the house. All Warriors in this one as they win 58-0.
Also had the whole town of Wellpinit out to watch today as they hosted Odessa. Tigers would score first. They're back on offense here. Handoff to the fullback. It's Hudson Walter, the freshman. He's got the corner, and he's going to go untouched. Odessa up 16-0 early. Wellpinit needs an answer, and they're going to find one thanks to the arm of their quarterback. That's Josh Park. Beautiful deep ball right into the arms of Dane Lonebear. Makes the catch. He's going to coast in for the score. 16-8 after the 2-point try, but the Tigers were overwhelming. Second quarter, Coulter Watson takes the dive, 10-yard touchdown for the visitors. Odessa wins this one 72-26.
All right.